back here, you know what I'm saying? Episode number 2.
Number 2.
Hey, we told you guys we're going to be consistent every single week. Brian, did we?
Bro, we're putting the work in.
The work, bro.
Can I say one thing, though?
IG?
Can I say one thing?
What?
Can we say hello to Miss Allie Jones?
Woo!
For the people?
Hey, wait.
Allie
No. Better
Jones.
intro. So, Miss Allie Jones.
Who? It's me. Or better yet known as Miss Callie Alley, as the guys
Miss Callie Alley.
say in the office. Yeah.
Okay. All the way from Missouri.
All the way from St. Louis.
The worst city in Missouri.
You know we from
Nah.
KC.
If you guys know
Uh-uh.
anything about Missouri, I would always tell you to go to Kansas City. It's the
Nah.
best city in Missouri. St. Louis puts literally cheese on crackers and they call it emos.
Wow.
You had to let them know.
We got beef.
He doesn't ever
KC
drop
and
it.
St.
I
Louis.
had to.
Nah.
I mean, man. Well, we have a special guest this week, man, and we have a lot of things going on with this mentorship, with a lot of things that are growing, especially for Q4. We have a lot of new strategies that we're implementing, and because of that, we only have a couple limited spots available this month. So if you're interested in joining our mentorship with the Supreme Econ Mentorship, all you guys have to do is hit me up at AC_Hampton and DM me the word case study, and you have a chance to win a $3,000 cash prize. So keep that in mind, but we do have a special guest this week, and it's time to go ahead and introduce her. So
Should we do it? Should
I
we
think
do
it's
it?
time.
I think
We
it's
have-
time.
I think it's time.
We have an online and in-person trainer. She's a mobility specialist.
Okay,
She's
okay.
a founder of the movement method. We got
What?
Kortni King. We got Kortni King in the
Kortni
house,
King.
folks. Kortni
Yes,
King.
sir.
What up, girl?
What's up,
Welcome.
girl? Hey, make sure you guys go ahead and like and subscribe because you know Kortni's here and it's time to take action.
It's time to go. It's time
Let's
to go.
get
Miss
it.
Kortni King, how you feeling?
Hello, I'm feeling great.
Ooh, where
Good
you
to
from,
hear.
Kortni?
I'm from the wild West, 806 area code, Lubbock, Texas.
Let's
How
go.
old were you when you got your first pair of cowgirl boots?
How 17, but like a fake
Oh, so
21.
it's not the real cowgirl.
A fake
What?
21, depending on which ID you looked at,
Yikes.
you know,
I feel that one.
had to get to Wild West, literally the name of the place that I went that I needed the boots for.
I got you, girl.
Not the Wild West.
Nice.
That's exactly what it was called.
Well, we're from the A16. So
Yes,
only
ma'am.
One number difference.
We're all from Missouri. All three of us.
Yeah,
I don't even know how we ended up in this room.
the better part of Missouri.
So we
Right
got
here.
Missouri and Lubbock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Oh,
West
wow,
Texas on this
yeah.
side. What are y'all? Yo, the Midwest?
Midwest.
I'm
You're
west
like, where?
Missouri.
West.
I'm
Okay,
like,
wait.
I'm from the best city in Missouri. I told you guys.
Facts.
I told you y'all.
We're from the
Hey,
best city in West
Don't
Texas.
even say nothing, Allie.
Nah. I already told y'all. 314, Hustle City.
Hey, tell us where you're from in the comment section below. Make sure you guys let us know where you're watching from because we all want to know, you know, where everyone's coming from around here, all the way from St. Louis, KC, Lubbock, and the Wild West. Man.
Very small town.
All right, so just a question for you, Kortni. So I hear that you're a trainer. Also, Ryan was just mentioning that you're founder of the movement.
Movement method.
Movement method.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell me a little bit about how that started and what got you to do that?
Yeah, so I went to college for kinesiology, sports science. And to put myself through college, I took a job in the car business and some
Ooh.
sales. So
The
Ryan?
car
That's
business.
I had to
Nice.
put the hours in at the car business so I could get to college. And I got my degree in kinesiology. And I kind of put that on the back burner for a while until about 2 years ago. I took it on full time. And that's how the movement method started. It started out as it started out as my first 90-day online course for like everything health and fitness, like anything you wanted to know about really the foundations of health and fitness, like what kind of workouts should you be doing, how often, you know, what kind of nutrition, what should an ideal plate look like for you with your type of, you know, work schedule and activity level already. And so I launched that, but I named it the movement method, not because it has to do with like physical movement. Obviously I'm a personal trainer, but to kind of join this whole movement, quote unquote, of health and fitness and like where the fitness industry is going and just like joining that movement all together. So
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that.
it's evolving. It's evolving all the time. In 2021, actually, Ryan's going to help me out with some stuff with the movement method.
Okay.
And
Sneak peek.
a little sneak peek. And yeah, I'm ready to create some really amazing content for that. It's going to be sick, and it's going to be more focused around what I really want to pursue in the world of fitness, which has to do a lot with like your joints and mobility and kind of where I feel like the fitness industry is moving anyway. So I'm joining the movement, and we're bringing a movement method 2.0, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
like
you mentioned how you were moving, how the fitness movement was going forward, with the name, but how did you come about moving it online, and where did you see that turn, and how did you do it?
Yeah, no, I feel like I kind of created that. I don't know if that was a good idea or a bad idea, because I feel like when I've talked to other people that have been in this industry way longer than I have, they're like, you need to wait for that moment to bring it online. Your clients will tell you when to bring it online. I was a little impatient, like everything else in my life. So I just started asking my audience, like, hey, what do y'all want to see out of a 90-day program of, foundational health and fitness? And yeah, I mean, like anybody else would do in their proof of concept phase, I just started asking people what they wanted. And I created a 90-day program around exactly what those people wanted. In the meantime, I was still doing my in-person business. So I juggled them both, tried to keep them both going, and that's how it all started.
You ultimately feel like that changed a lot, like going online for your business? Like, did you see that as like a big movement for your brand, or like what you were trying to preach, or kind of just like how you were teaching individuals and the impact you could do with that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it just allowed me to reach more people. I already wanted to do stuff online. I love the connection that I get with in person, but I just wanted to be able to reach more people. And it's unrealistic for me to think that I can do that, within 24 hours in a day.
How are you like reaching people right now? Like, kind of what do you do to like get to that audience and like try to get your brand out there? Like, what do you do? Is it all organic traffic, or do you kind of just like do different like paid advertising?
No paid advertising.
That's
I mean,
what's up. That's awesome.
other than like your random
like the boost on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, boost me for a second,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, nah, I need to spend $20 on that. But no, I mean, it's all been organic, and I'm really grateful for that. All of my clients really have been word of mouth, so I'm really grateful for the people that have supported me and believed in what I do and my message when it comes to health and fitness. And I mean, a friend of a friend or of a friend is always like, my next client in line. So I feel like having that community is great. Instagram has been great. For anybody who's trying to pursue something of their own, I think I've reached so many people. I've connected with so many people who are from all over the world. Yeah. So that's been crazy.
Definitely. I mean, any social media is going to make your brand go absolutely crazy. You just have to know how to like structure it. Do you have like your personal page and then like your own branded page, or do you have like your own, or is it all mixed together kind of?
That's a good question, because I've been actually debating this. So I've been debating on like taking my brand from Kortni King to the movement method, or like doing away, and I don't know, you never know, like it depends on where you want to go, I guess, with the future, if you want to have a personal brand or a business brand, right? But I'm trying to combine the two.
I feel you. I love it though. That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I keep it my brand, I can do a lot. I ask my clients this all the time. I'm like, do you come to me for what I do or who I am? And I'm really grateful to know that it's been a combination of both, is the feedback that I've gotten. And so I feel like it would be kind of silly for me to do away with the whole Kortni King brand and just call it something else based on that feedback.
That's a really good answer.
Hey, really that came from straight from my client's mouth. I had to ask them, I'm like, do you come to hang out with me, or do you like what do you like this training that much? Like what's the deal?
Like, what is it? Is it me, or is it what I'm doing for you? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, one of my clients the other day, she was so funny. She's like, I mean, if you told me we were doing, Pilates tomorrow, I would show up and do it. Like, I don't care. I mean, I want to work with you. So that was cool.
So I got a question. You said you did online, right? And you do in person.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like better?
I love, like I said, reaching more people. I feel like with the online space, you can reach more people that are specifically looking for what you're trying to do. For example, I love focusing on joint health, longevity, mobility. And some people are looking for that stuff in particular. So I feel like the online space really allows me to target my ideal client.
Yeah, definitely.
With the in-person though, I mean, I can't get rid of it. COVID kind of helped me figure that all out, but I just love the one-on-one connection. I have never been like a group fitness type of gal. I just really thrive off that one-on-one personal connection with my clients. And to be honest, like we're in there working out and moving forward, moving the needle on that, but also talking about like what we're having for dinner and, you know, who we like on The Bachelorette and all that good stuff.
With understanding your audience, like what you're saying, do you use like, because I assume you probably have like a business Instagram page, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you like use the analytics on that to kind of understand a little bit of who your audience is, or how do you like go into understanding what the audience is in the first place? Like what is that data that speaks to you to understand that?
Yeah, so I don't have a business page. It's my personal page.
Oh,
I mean, it's
okay.
just Kortni King. King Kortni, actually. It's
Hey.
backwards. But I did save Kortni King, so nobody gets that Instagram handle. I had to
Dang,
go
not
do
the
that.
petty,
No.
Not the petty, not the
I had to let him know that. But
I'm
no,
taking it back.
I don't. The analytics I look at, to be honest, are just making sure that the people that are in my audience are my ideal client. For example, a while back, I had a pretty good even split of male and female people in my audience, and I really wanted to up that to a more female-based audience. Don't get me wrong; like I'll work with males. I've also worked with males before, you know, in training, but that's my ideal client.
Yeah,
you know, a
definitely.
female in a certain age range, and I can really relate to them. And so I've been able to grow that by like I think 10% in the last
what's
year.
up. That's
So
what's
I've got
up.
more women
Empowerment.
than men. Yes,
Love to
who
see
run the
it.
world?
Yeah.
Great work.
Alex?
Girl.
Girl.
Let us know.
I would
I
work
lose
with
you,
you, girl. Yes.
Man,
So, what's one thing that you wish you knew when you started, you know, that you know now, that you could, if someone was in your shoes starting out, what could you tell them?
The biggest piece of advice I have for that is like, just relax. I wanted everything to happen for me so fast. And because of that, you get impatient, you get in your head, like, is what I'm doing not working? So, I would have just told myself like, relax, you're going to run into obstacles, plenty of them. And the faster you get started, the faster you can run into those obstacles and then get over them, instead of dreading the fact that I might run into them and trying to avoid that completely. Anytime you do something that, you know, is great for yourself and something you want to pursue, like you're going to meet those roadblocks. So you might as well just like get in, get out, move on, get the next roadblock and keep moving.
did it help to go like with that mentality when you were kind of transferring your brand online? Like, did you go into having like issues that you had to overcome like that all the time, that you were already prepared for it, or like did going online like kind of push you to like get better at understanding there's going to be a lot of obstacles you have to overcome?
I really kind of took that on as like, I'm going to have to figure it out as I go. Like I said, I asked my audience specifically, like, what do you want to see out of a program? And I started building it around that. So I think if I would have tried to go any faster, I would have ended up giving my clients who joined me in that 90-day program a bunch of content that they weren't looking for, or maybe didn't need or didn't want. So that's honestly, both goes hand in hand, those questions. Like, you don't want to go too fast and just start making all these plans, because your plans may end up changing at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, you have to make sure you're serving your audience and the people who are looking for your services and for your message, and make sure it's really, really tailored to them.
Definitely. Did you ever like with that, like ever have a time where basically like your friends or your family or any type of like customer, anybody that you wanted to like, you know, love your brand, like did not like it? And like, what would you say to others, like how to overcome stuff like that? Like, was there a time where like you felt like people like that you loved the most like weren't believing in your dream or anything that you like wanted to overcome, and you had to kind of like sit down with yourself and like come to consensus with that?
No, I'm grateful. Like,
That's what's up.
I've had the most amazing support from my fans.
Hey, no,
All of my friends and family are my
No.
fans. Those
Put it
are
out
the
there.
fans, friends, family. They're all the same people, you know. But honestly, like I've people on Instagram that don't even know me, that have never met me before, don't even live like in the same country or city sometimes. Like, they have given me the most support. And I was thinking about this, like, I don't know if I just don't, because I get a lot of questions like that, like, oh, do you have, you know, haters or anything like that? Like, I don't know if it's because I choose to not surround myself with any kind of weird energy like that. I mean, everyone I'm around is so supportive, but I'm also so supportive of my friends and the people I'm around. Like, that is just my circle of people. And so I feel like when you give that support, you get that support back.
Yes.
Everyone's been amazing. I hate on myself more than anybody could, honestly. Like, I'm my own worst enemy on thinking I can't do something, or, you know, so it's like, if anybody is thinking my stuff's weird, like, let me know. I'll put out a better video. I'll find
I'm
someone.
telling you.
Let
So,
me know.
Like, let me go ahead and improve and find a solution.
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
right
you tell
away.
me.
Yeah.
Like, I pulled out a video and I'm like, was that kind of,
I like the fact that you mentioned that. You know, you've mentioned like feedback a lot, you know, and like moving forward, that's like the biggest thing is like having to be able to take feedback. And like you've mentioned that multiple times. So like everybody out there, like, you know, if you can even take anything from this, like I hope that you can see that, you know, she's even expecting to meet obstacles and moving forward. And just for the people out there, like how powerful do you think mentality to know that you're gonna hit these obstacles and like being able to move forward, and the people that you surround yourself with has with everything that you do?
so big. Mental is everything. I've been able to work with some amazing people in like the whole mental health space. Shout out Adrian Ellison for taking me through like that inner child workshop journey of like healing some of the stuff that keeps me from hating on myself, really. Shout out to Stephanie. She has been an amazing like mentor. She is specifically like somebody who helps people get out of their 9-to-5 jobs and like really pursue what they're passionate about. And
Yep.
she's just so
That's
organized.
exactly why I like to do it too.
Yeah, she's so
I
organized and
swear.
amazing at like, you know, just getting people to move the needle. And yeah, mental health and keeping like a good mindset about everything is so, so important, because that'll hold you back more than anybody or anything else will.
Definitely. So speaking of like overcoming and obstacles, I guess what I kind of want to know is, how did you work through COVID-19 and the shutdown? How did you keep your business afloat during those times, which were hard for all small businesses?
Yeah.
Like, how'd you stay above that and come through and still doing successful?
You know, the whole COVID gig, it helped me out, to be honest.
Nice. That's
Bro.
good.
Not in the sense of like,
2 weeks in a row. That's literally 2 weeks in a
2
row. Same
weeks.
exact response.
honestly, it helped me not in business, right? But aside from the fact that I'm a personal trainer, I care about health and fitness. I need clients that are caring about health and fitness, and they care about their health and fitness now because they don't want to get sick. But it really helped me. Like, it took away the in-person training for me, right?
I knew it was coming.
So, you know, and before that, I had been doing half online, half in person. A lot of my clients, like my whole client base, half in person, half online, was 50-50. It wasn't more online people than in-person people, which was awesome. But I needed that experience of having one taken away, because I only had the option to just up my marketing on online stuff and really, really take care of those online clients. And I think doing that, I like realized how much I missed the one-on-one connection with people. And so it just really helped me figure out what direction I wanted to go in my business personally. Like, do I want to work with more online people? Do I want to work with more in-person people? And like, how do I want to split up that time for myself? So it really helped me figure that out. Like, I think I'm on a good path with that business-wise, of kind of knowing the direction I want to go moving forward. So I'm grateful for COVID in that sense.
So I got a question. So your mobility training is like, that's like the center of everything, right?
Yes.
Walk us through that. What does that mean?
So mobility, your joints, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your spine, your shoulders, your shoulder blades, your neck. Those are all your joints, elbows, wrists, all that good stuff. The main practice that I work on is FRC, functional range conditioning. And to me, like, I have been through so many modalities, like Pilates certifications, mobility certifications, strength training certifications. I've worked with some amazing physical therapists and trainers and like yoga instructors, like people of all different modalities. And at the end of the day, the one thing that every single person needs, whether you're an athlete or somebody working at a 9-to-5 job every day, like, you need your joints to work for you. Like,
Doesn't matter who you are.
yeah. And I mean, a lot, your strength training, like, you improve your joints, you improve your strength training without even having to think about it, really. So it's just about longevity for me, and making sure that people are getting a a training session that is tailored to them, right? Like if you are lifting boxes and putting them up, on a tall shelf every day, right? You need the range of motion in your shoulder to be able to reach that. And so, it's just like, honestly, down to your foundational movements of just regaining all the range of motion in your normal body. Like when we were all small, right? Like we could all do the splits. I can't do the splits right now. But as a baby, right?
There was a time I feel like I couldn't
flexible.
even do crisscross applesauce. I felt like that. At least like, bro, I think
That
like
is
ninth
not
grade,
good,
I don't even
bro.
think I could do it. But I'm good now. I'm good. I'm back now.
What
I'm
about
back.
the big ticket? Can you do the splits?
Hell no. This dude ain't never even. He can squat barely.
Okay, I was
I
a little
saw him
chubby
play
little
ping
guy,
pong.
so
We can
I don't
fix
know if
that.
he could do it.
We can fix
We
that.
can
That's
fix
your
it.
goal
We can
right
fix
there.
that.
No, and like
Come
back
here.
to that,
We can
I got
fix
something
it.
to hit on that. So how big is consistency in like flexibility and what you do daily?
Big.
Facts.
All right, the difference, flexibility is not what I do. There's a difference between flexibility and mobility.
Ooh,
Okay.
got him.
Okay.
So like if you're laying on the floor, you kick your leg up to the ceiling, that's a hamstring stretch. You're gonna feel a stretch in the back of the leg. If you have a person that's helping you lift your leg up farther, you're going to feel that stretch further. And that's flexibility. You have a range that you can move into. Mobility is your ability to control that range yourself.
Wow.
So can you reach that spot?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, in between.
Damn, girl.
In between that space of what someone else can help you get to and what you can get to yourself is like all risk for injury. So mobility is the ability to control that space so that you don't have that issue.
So when you're teaching somebody how to be like mobile, but you're doing it on the internet, like run us through kind of how you teach somebody to do that when you're not with them in person.
So that's coming. That's something that I wanted to bring to people, right? Because I do a lot of mobility work in my in-person sessions
Right.
because I'm like on the floor with somebody. I can very well see, where they're limited in range of motion. And right away, I just start to address that. Like on the fly, I'll put that in the workout and we'll just start working on that moving forward until it's better. And I'll give my clients some little homework or things to do on their own. But in person, that's kind of where I took my business and why I'm doing all the stuff I'm doing in 2021, because I realized that the people online are getting my strength training. They're getting my training style, which definitely has some mobility in it, but it is not like hardcore focused on getting that stuff. And so that's exactly what I'm doing with the movement method in 2021, is trying to bring more of that mobility to the online space so that people that are online, that want to work with me can get a similar experience to what they get in person.
So give them like a sneak peek. Like, you think it's going to be like a course? You think it's going to be like a package deal? You think it's going to be like, what are you thinking is going to be like of what the design is going to be in 2021?
It's going to be a little bit of everything,
Okay, love to
course
see
stuff
it.
that you can do
Okay.
on your own, some stuff that you can follow along with, and some, of course, super tailored stuff, because I love tailoring everything to the individual.
Hell yeah,
So I
hell yeah.
like the individuality, and I love working with people one-on-one.
Love it.
To
love
your
it.
point, though, the consistency, FRC is something that, works immediately. It's like, give me 2 minutes, you have a new range of motion very quickly. But the repetition and the consistency is what you have to keep doing so that you can keep that range of motion and keep on improving it.
Love it. That's what's up, bro.
I just kind of got a question
Yeah.
surrounding what you do. Do you work with people who have previously been injured? Like, can you work them through that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've got a great team of people I work with, chiropractors, doctors, orthopedics, amazing team. Of people that I can refer to. I have tons of clients who go see them when they are, it's outside of my scope of practice. I am by no means a doctor. I'm not going to prescribe that anybody do anything that I, don't know what to do. But I'm very careful of making sure that you'd be surprised how many people have previous injuries. I mean,
and don't even know it sometimes.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
I played sports in high school and my shoulders all jicky because of a injury that I got in the last game or something, so many people just have had previous injuries, and then their joints get used to moving in different ways, and so then they come to me years later and they're like, yeah, what's going on? But no, I have people who have some very serious injuries, and also I've done tons of continued education in pain-free performance, and that's a big thing for me, is making sure that I don't put my clients into further pain or aches or anything like that, because so many people these days are used to just being like, oh, my back hurts, it's all right.
Definitely.
Tomorrow's a new day. My
Right,
back hurts again.
exactly.
So
I
you
love-
always, you
yeah.
talk about like you talk about how you always tailor around your clients. So like something that's really big for like our mentorship is we tailor around like any type of individual that's in e-commerce. Like we tailor around a beginner who just is building a store, or we tailor around an intermediate who's been scaling ads for a little while, or we tailor around an advanced dropshipper who's like scaling to 100K and plus. So like how important do you you think like tailoring your entire program or your brand around an individual like helps it like satisfaction of the
The
client?
Yeah. It's big. I mean, everyone wants like to feel they're special, right? Like you're gonna give me exactly what I need. When it comes to that, I mean, at the end of the day, we all need the same thing, right?
Yeah.
We need to be squatting down. We need to be hinging at the hips. We need to be using our shoulders. We're all pretty much doing the same things, on a daily basis as far as like moving our body, right? Unless anyone here is like a athlete training for something.
I mean, I'm an
I
athlete. I'm an athlete. But
even then, athletic drills,
get
stuff
outta
like
here,
that,
bro.
endurance, power, speed, stuff that all of my clients like to work on. But making it individual is really important, specifically because not everybody can move the same way. And that's really what it comes down to for me, like in this industry. And even when I, go work with other trainers, in the area, like it has to be very specific because not everyone has the same body mechanics. Not everyone has the same mobility, ranges of motion. Not everybody can move the same way. So if I'm trying to get a client to do something and they are limited and can't do it, like on the fly, I have to be able to know how to switch that up to make that work for a client.
That's great.
And I feel like I honestly like. Do you think that like that is what makes your brand separated from a lot of other brands that are in the same industries, because you will tailor to the individual client that way?
100%. I mean, I hope that other personal trainers are out there.
Some people like any type of like. I mean, we want the best for everybody, but at the end of the day, like all we can do is pride ourselves on our own work. So like, I know you definitely do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, for a client too, if you're looking for people, right? Like in this space, in the fitness industry, you got to make sure you're looking for the people that align with the stuff that you're trying to get accomplished too.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a personal trainer with like a really crappy range of motion in all my joints, you'd be like, what's
or
going
somebody
on
that has
here?
no experience in what you're actually trying to get done for like and accomplish with somebody with.
Right. And that's everything. Knowing, people that have gone through what you are trying to do.
Man, that's the best thing you could have said.
For sure.
So Alex, I always see your stories. So, in those stories, you always mention how important it is that someone is doing exactly what you're sought out and trying to do. And Kortni, whenever you're working with clients and constantly getting better, as you mentioned, how important do you think it is for you to be able to be doing it as you're teaching people as well and getting better?
I mean, really important. You got to practice what you preach, for sure. And honestly, like that's how I get my best stuff.
Yeah.
Is working on myself and like really connecting with my body and thinking like, if I need to feel this in a certain spot, what would I tell a client to do? Like I really have to get in their heads and think about that. And I do this all the time. There's so many different cues. Teaching someone, I'm sure as you guys know, like not everyone receives information the same way. So not only do you have to individualize what you're saying, but you have to put it in a way that that person particularly likes to learn. For example, like I've got internal cues and external cues where I might tell someone like connect to your chest. That would be internal. They're going inside their body. And an external would be like push away from the floor, right? So that they engage their chest muscles to do the same exact thing, but that's different for everybody.
Yeah,
so it's
definitely.
like you really have to figure out how that person is going to receive the information and how you're going to make it like digestible for them.
Love that.
That's crazy. You're like a lot different than a lot of trainers, because I had a trainer one time and they were like, okay, do some bicep curls. Okay, now do some lateral raises, but you're going.
He's like doing this.
Oh, bro, I'm getting it. I'm ready to go.
The legs were moving with the upper body at the same time.
I was
Momentum.
We've all seen it.
Man, boy,
It's okay, Cowboy.
It should be like right here on the video, just a guy just.
I was the number
doing
one
this.
client. But that makes you different though, because and maybe you can touch on that as well too, but I feel like a lot of clients or a lot of trainers, right, they do kind of like the basic stuff, but you, like you said, you go like really, really in depth. I think that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like working with different clients. And when I started out, like I didn't, my ideal client, right, is a certain group of people. But I worked with my youngest client was like 17. My oldest client was 68.
We're at 16 and 54.
Dude, I mean,
just crazy.
I think we're at 69 actually.
Who, Larry? Is Larry?
No names.
Shout out
but
Larry. Shout out Larry.
Hey,
Shout
you did
out
a
Larry.
great job, by the way. You're a baller for real.
Hey, that call with Larry today went hella fire too, though.
Dude, yeah.
Dude barely knows how to work the internet. Is making money. Like he has his little grandson helping him run it, but hey, he's got the capital. So
Hey, that's proof anybody can do it.
That really
you
is.
got
It's
what
crazy.
a
Yeah.
16-year-old, 16-year-old, and
Yeah.
a 69-year-old. That's proof anybody.
That's
can
really
do
a
it.
hey,
huge
seriously.
gap.
And that goes back to what Kortni was saying, like having to be able to teach every different type of person. Not everybody
Tailoring.
receives the same type of information the same way. You can say the exact same thing, the same person, but that's not going to hit the same anytime that you do that.
Mhm.
Facts. And then when
So-
you're like, so like with this too, you obviously are good at your craft, right? You know what you're doing, but at the end of the day, like how important do you feel like not being a like know-it-all and continuing being a learner and continuing like growing yourself is important for growing your brand at the same time?
Super important. I'm in this like whole process right now. Like there are things I know that I can't do. For example, graphic design, Ryan. Like
Shout
that's
out.
I.
Shout out.
It's
Hey,
important to
Check
work.
out our new website though.
Yep.
Should we?
Hey.
Hey, spoiler.
Right here.
Yes.
www.supremeecommentorship.com. Go ahead
Let's
and
go.
apply.
Check
Limited
it out.
spots
Check it
available
out.
this month.
Get it. It's so important. I mean, it's really important to delegate those tasks out when they're not like in your creative genius, I guess. I would love to do everything myself. I feel like that's how you get stuff done sometimes. That firm believer in that.
I know how you feel.
And that's been hard. But yeah, I mean, you have to respect that other people know more about that stuff than you do. And honestly, I want to shout out Chris Tecco, who you guys should definitely have on this podcast. When I literally like when I left my corporate job, walked into a workout with him and was like, help, I need to train. I need some mobility and I need to figure out what I'm doing with my life. And, yeah, he's been super supportive in that journey. And, it's really nice to learn from other creatives. And that's how you say like, I'm sure you're proud of your work. I am proud of my work, but my work is a compilation of like so many different modalities that I've learned from people. And I feel like that's what makes my training style unique. Like, like I said, sometimes I'm putting a Pilates move in a warm up and people are shaking.
You're like, what am
At the
I
core.
What am I doing?
So
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it all the way back to the fact that you said since you've moved it online, you've had so many people, across the world, across the nation even. So with that being said, like how has it been meeting all these different type of people and connecting with different type of people and learning to move and like manipulate over different body types as well?
I mean, like we were talking about the 16-year-old and the 68-year-old, like those bodies move completely differently, So like that is me getting someone to do a lunge that's 16 and 68,
Man,
like that's a
yeah,
different
it's
lunge.
different.
I gotta adjust. So that's just been amazing for me to figure out what to do when people can't move, because you'd be surprised. I know 25-year-olds that move similar to the 68-year-old.
Hey, like LeBron.
Hey, fun
like
fact,
LeBron James. literally.
LeBron is an FRC guy. The joint mobility work that I do, the certification that I
Wow.
have, LeBron James has worked with the
same
founder,
guy?
Maybe
the
we should
founder
get
of
on
this.
FRC.
I
I
Hey,
might need
should
to.
all
I
get
might
on
need
it.
to get right. You know
Maybe
when
we should get on this.
I think when he was playing for the Miami Heat, they said he had like the body of a 21-year-old or something like that, and he was like 28
Joint capacity.
or 29 at the same time.
Top
Like,
notch.
that was some weird shit, bro. Like,
That's
weird
it. No,
shit.
he's got it down. If LeBron James is doing mobility, we should all be doing mobility.
I want to be LeBron James, so maybe
I'm
Me
gonna be
too.
there
When I grow
soon.
up.
maybe you can give us like a Supreme Ecom mobility training class.
I could do
Are we
that.
down? Are we
yeah, y'all come get it. We're gonna get a private room. I'll let y'all pick the music.
damn.
Oh.
We'll
How
dim
does
the
that
lights.
music?
I'm
It'd
down.
be
I
lit.
need a workout, girl.
Yes.
I just started at a new gym.
Uh-oh, not the
We're
word.
sitting, yeah.
Okay.
We're
She
sitting there
hates to
trying to
hear
figure
that.
out how to do all the machines. We're like,
Dallas Iron Fitness is accepting new memberships.
Oh,
and that's where we're at.
shout
I had to
out,
keep
shout
that
Shout
out.
out Dallas Iron Fitness. It's really been
Okay.
amazing for my whole journey. And like, they have such a cool space. It's a woman owned business, small
Wow,
business.
woman
woman
I
owned
Love
business.
to see it. She's great. The space is great. She's expanded. I mean, I've seen it when it was small, and it's amazing. And she's got some really great trainers and stuff in there. So it's awesome.
Well, just like Kortni, how she has her own e-commerce brand, kind of here what we do at Supreme Ecom is we go ahead and brand and help you go ahead and improve your investments with your brand and help you get a lot of return on investments, kind of like I'm mentioning, and help you be able to scale, start, and build different Shopify stores and be able to duplicate this process multiple times. So as you guys know, we go ahead and take a couple clients each month. You're learning from all of us who've had done like so much experience and great results with e-commerce dropshipping. I hope you guys can go ahead and check out my YouTube for free content as well. And as you guys know, we're ready to take action. So like I cannot be like, I'm so happy you're here because some of the key points that you said were crazy. Like they related to our business like substantially. Like you were talking about COVID-19 and automatically that just hit me, you know, because again, like I said last week, everybody was scared through that time, but anybody who started understanding how to work the online game started really benefiting from it. That was something huge that I took away from this. Like if you guys had to say one thing, like what would be like something big that you took away from this?
I would definitely say that the biggest thing that I took away was you just got to keep trucking through the hardest times in your life and in your business. Like you can't let one thing get you down and just quit because that one thing is happening. Like you got to work through that, and there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Hell yeah.
So,
I like it.
You know, that's actually crazy because that's the same exact thing I was going to say. And that goes back to even like what we were first talking about, mentality. I'm a big mentality guy, as you guys already know. And, you know, Kortni, I can tell you have a crazy mentality. Like, it's all positive. It's moving forward. And that's, like, the biggest thing that we pride ourselves on, too. Always moving forward. So, you know, that's great. That's what I took definitely from this.
Bro, I'll tell you one thing. We, one time I asked Kortni a question. I asked her how she got her business started. And this has been my whole takeaway from all of this because you talked a lot about mindset. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get this crazy, crazy answer. And I got, just go do it. Do you remember that?
That's so true.
Just go do it. Just go do it. And
I mean, guys, could have sat there and talked to you for hours.
But just go do it.
Just go do it. I was ready. I'm like, here it comes. This is gonna be like the only person
that's gonna stop you is yourself.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bro. And expect those hurdles and expect to be able to become over them is exactly what you were mentioning.
Just go do it.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like if you want to go do something, just do it. Like,
but I knew that. I mean, when he asked me, he's like, that's the only thing that stops you is yourself. Like you ask anybody else, they're gonna be like, yeah, it's a great idea, go do that. No, that's awesome.
Or some people might be like, no, I don't know, bro, that might not be for you. Like,
right. What does it matter? I'm already thinking it might not be for me, so who cares? I might as well go find out. And once you get started, I mean, once you get started, you will know what's for you and what's not for you.
Right from the like,
you will have that answer instead of wondering if it's not for you.
And
it doesn't have to be right.
Sorry, that transfer of mentality right there, like what you just said. We're sitting here asking, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Because we're looking for negative answers. But then someone comes out and they say, just go do it. And you're like,
that's
you know
all
what?
I needed.
Wow.
Why am I
so
questioning
true.
this?
You're looking for the answer. You're
looking for reasons not to do it when the whole time you just need to do it.
Totally.
And that's the mentality we all have here at Supreme Ecom. Kortni has it with the movement method. So if you guys want any more information about the movement method, Supreme Ecom Consulting, what we do, go ahead and smash the comments description below.
And smash that like button and subscribe to the channel and turn on alert preferences because we do drop videos every single Monday. So all you got to do is turn those alerts on and it'll come straight to your phone. So make sure you go ahead and turn that on right now.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Kortni, for coming out.
Yeah,
thanks for having me, guys. This was awesome.
Love to see it.
Before we go, if they want to just go do it, like you said, where do they find you at?
You can find me at King Kortni on Instagram or KortniKing.com. Or Kortni King on Instagram, but then it's going to take you to my other page. I had to secure both.
Hey, she's taking over the game with both Kortni King and King Kortni. You know where to find her.
One. Just Google it with a K, by the way. No, it's not Kortni with a C.
Hey, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for everything.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. It's so amazing to connect with people that are so like-minded and working towards something, that they're passionate about. Yes. The energy is contagious.
And especially love seeing other women making money online.
Yes,
love it.
Yes, man.
Yes.
Hey, and like we always say, always take action and just do it.
Just do it.
Just
keep
go
moving
do it.
forward, y'all.
Join the movement.
Just go do it. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah,
Peace.
thank you.